Hi, I'm Marie Hammer, mother of Specialist Brady James Hammer, who served in Iraq from 2009 to 2010, the Oregon National Guard. Brady was very fun and had a sense of humor and he was a kid. Mm-hmm. But also, if he gave you a hug, you felt it like deep down in your soul. He had PTSD from 2011. So that's when they had diagnosed it. They said he probably got it from being in Iraq, because when he came back, we went to the fireworks, and then all of a sudden we were like, "Where's Brady?" Well, he was hiding in the car. We left after that because obviously we didn't understand, but then we realized once he was hiding that we needed to leave.
Mm-hmm. The point here is that different folks are coming together saying, we have this terrible crisis in veteran suicides. People come home. It's a difficult transition. It's difficult to sustain community. It's such a different world back home than it was when you're in a war zone overseas. And we have a veteran in Oregon committing suicide about 1 every 3 days.
But the girl that was with him said that the gun misfired, but we'll never know what happened, really. He has nieces and nephews that will never know him. My daughter in Oregon City, my grandson actually talks about him all the time because there are pictures, and pretends like, this is what Brady used to do. It's like a domino effect. It affects so many people, but I think when they come home, they don't realize that they have people that care.
I served in the Army for 12 years. I was deployed to Haiti, Iraq, where I was critically injured in a car bomb, and then down in New Orleans during rescue efforts after Hurricane Katrina. I met Brad Peitzig at a veterans breakfast sponsored by Together with Veterans Northwest after moving to Astoria, Oregon. Brad served 10 years in the Army as an Army engineer officer with 2 deployments to Iraq, and then 5 more years as a mathematician. Soon after, we joined the steering committee for Together with Veterans and formed the Rogue Cell podcast. While interviewing veterans and community leaders, we found that the state of Oregon has a higher rate of veteran suicide in rural areas than most other states. In fact, according to the latest numbers, Oregon is the 5th highest state for veteran suicide. We decided to hit the road to get more information, raise awareness, and to speak to lawmakers and community leaders all over the state. And that's what we did. So far, we've driven approximately 4,000 miles from Astoria to the Oahe Canyon lands, from Medford to Ontario, through the John Day fossil beds, the Columbia River Gorge, the Oregon coast, and many, many more amazing places. Our mission is to reduce veteran suicide.
We don't fight veteran suicide because we are experts. We fight because we are the survivors. Survival is more than breathing. It's carrying the weight of those who didn't make it, honoring their stories, and refusing to let silence take another one of our own. We know the darkness. We've stood at the edge. We've seen friends slip away, lost to battles they fought alone. And that's why we fight to keep another brother or sister from fading into the background. We fight to make sure no one walks this road alone, to turn survival into connection, and the pain into a lasting memorial. Because survival isn't just tolerating trauma. Real survival is using your trauma to help others.
As somebody that is a gun owner and enjoys shooting a great deal and grew up with a background in firearms, obviously guns put a roof over our head and food on our table, and somebody with a background in clinical work, mental health. My background is actually in crisis intervention and suicide prevention. And my history is that I'm a survivor of a youth suicide attempt, which if I had actually found my father's handguns, I would have died. So, you know, that time and distance, that secure storage was the difference between life and death for me. And I really was concerned when I started to see the numbers of firearm-related suicide in Oregon. And there was this huge gap between there was people on both sides that wanted to do good work. There was the firearm community that definitely wanted to save lives of their loved ones. And then there was public health and suicide prevention and behavioral health, which I was a part of, that also wanted to prevent firearm-related suicide, but nobody was working together. And, you know, a lot of our work, we wanted to connect with veterans. Veterans are avid firearm owners, and they have a much higher rate of suicide than the national average. So
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because everybody that's probably everybody's heard, 22 veterans a day. And we spoke about that a little bit. I mean, the new numbers come out, and they're a little deceiving because it might not say 22 veterans a day, but we don't see all of the, I mean, these numbers don't really show the whole story.
Right. Data can be really tricky, especially when it comes to suicide, because suicide is still the most underreported means of death, nationally and globally.
Suicide data is complicated. It's often incomplete. Every number represents a life, a story, a family, and many of those stories go untold. According to the 2021 VA data, the suicide rate among the general population stands at 14 per 100,000. For veterans across the nation, that number more than doubles to 34 per 100,000. And when we focus only on Oregon's veterans, that rate climbs even higher to 50 per 100,000, which is nearly triple the national average of all people. And that's just what we know. Many deaths go uncounted, misclassified, overlooked. Behind each statistic is a veteran who felt isolated, unheard, in crisis. This isn't just data. These are lives. We can do better. Understanding the numbers is only the first step. Changing them is the mission.
Out of the 7 guys that I had in my squad, including myself that day, we had 3 Purple Hearts. Matt Zedwick got a Silver Star. Eric got a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. It was pretty crazy. We had a bunch of guys hurt that day, and I was sent home. But, you know, I was sent home and I was able to convalesce. They had me on orders. I was trying to do the best I could, but I was a wreck. I really was. I was drinking way too much, living a self-destructive lifestyle. I didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know who I was. So when the guys came back and Hurricane Katrina happened, I was really excited to go on another deployment. And so I went down there as an acting platoon leader because we were short on lieutenants because I had been promoted to E7 and or platoon sergeant. But so we went down to Katrina, and that was a whole different kind of weird. It was just as bad as the war because the dead bodies that we found were people who were either died in the hurricane or died from the flood, or they were killing each other over candy bars and water because they just didn't have it. And we found holdouts. Found this one guy. As soon as we stepped on the porch, we knew that it was bad, just the smell. We broke the door down and we found that he was naked except for his tighty-whities, and he had saran wrapped a piece of paper to his right thigh with his name, his social security, and his date of birth. And I just imagine like what he went through before he decided to kill himself, you know.
So at this time I felt so disconnected from the community I lived in and suspicious of everybody in it that I convinced my wife April that we needed to get in our trailer, hook it up behind the truck, and travel the country looking for a permanent home for us.
And I put myself at risk pretty often during that period of time, and even through my first few years here in Central Oregon, trying to regulate, you know. And I sooner or later, prior to moving out here, realized again, you know, I was kind of at a fork in the road again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna die, you know. I'm gonna die. Like I should have been dead many times over, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's somebody up there, man. You know, somebody up there that's been saying not just quite yet for some time.
Now,
right?
just for clarity, when you
Yeah.
say dying several times over, you're talking about your time in the Marines and then also your time as a veteran afterwards, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was in the Marine Corps, it's expected, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's expected to be in risky situations,
sure.
but they were less impulsive,
Right.
right? They were less impulsive.
Yeah, you're
in
planning your
service.
death then.
Yeah, it was choreographed chaos.
What's really interesting to me is being in the ER and a combat medic and flight or a combat nurse was that you see so many people coming in, so many veterans coming in with physical ailments or mental illness, and you run all the tests and all the tests come back negative. And then you start hearing, I was deployed twice. I was sexually assaulted. They have all these issues. And that's when I started researching more. And I was like, oh my gosh, when you hold all this stuff inside, it manifests into physical ailments.
Our whole documentary is about trying to stop or reduce veteran suicide in rural Oregon. You guys are very rural. I was wondering, has that affect your community, veteran suicide?
So when somebody here passes away, we know them by name.
Yeah. And their families.
We went to school with them, or they used to be our dad's or grandfather's friend, or grandparents' friend, or it hits us. Our funerals are not have a viewing and then cry and go home. Ours is 3-day funerals, and it gives them the honor, but it gets the tears out too.
It's isolation, whether it's social media, whether it's being able to order everything in from Amazon and never leaving your house, working from home. There isn't this community anymore where you have to interact with people. We are meant to be together.
So, 2007, I had 6 years, 12 total in the military were up, and the National Guard let me out. There was no real transitional program to educate me on what to do after I got out of the military, and I didn't know who the hell I was anymore. I couldn't be Sergeant Davis. It was a really difficult time in my life. Not only did I drink too much and still had the self-destructive behavior, but I thought about suicide and actively, like how I would kill myself and how I can do it, how my family would be better off if I just ended it.
Throughout our marriage, we've been married 19 years and going on 19 years. And when we first got together, there were times that I didn't really even understand. In that moment, made me realize that this incredibly brilliant, powerful man who's done incredible missions could not handle dealing with paying a parking ticket. And it broke my heart in so many ways. And I recognized at that moment that I need to do something to help these men and women navigate through these systems. For me, the focus ended up being healthcare. And for me now is social work.
I ended up in an intensive inpatient program for 30 days. And that was when I was a captain, almost a major at that time. And I was sent back home to my family like nothing really happened. Became very isolated at the time. The only people I trusted was my wife and my kids. And my symptoms grew to the place that I was experiencing ruminative thoughts of hopelessness and delusional ones that the world was a better place without me in it.
When we were dating, he actually told me, like, being an Army officer, this is my career, this is my purpose. This is what I'm going to be doing. There was that obstacle of him feeling like as soon as I step in the clinic and I put my name on that list, my career's over.
And yeah, a lot of people, it's so sad. This is striking something emotional because I have had suicidal ideations. I've had military sexual trauma, bias in the military. Military was really tough for me as a woman. And at the time, I didn't know because I was so young, and I just kind of kept everything in because that's one, I was ashamed. I thought it was maybe my fault. And I felt feelings of guilt and pain and sadness, and I just kept it all to myself because it was a bit embarrassing too, to be like, I thought I could handle myself, but I couldn't. And so I kept it inside for so long. And then working in a level 1 trauma ER, all the deaths that I've encountered and wasn't able to process, all that stuff just stayed inside of me until I was forced to slow down.
You know, I didn't know what to do or where to start. And, you know, after being a soldier for so long, and they were like, there used to be a Sears right across the road over here, and they're like, go sell shoes at Sears. And after being, you know, I was like 26, 27, and I'm used to like being in charge of, you know, some stuff. And and you guys are gonna tell me to, like, you can go sell shoes at Sears.
Left the VA, super medicated.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing then, right?
That's what we were doing then.
That's what we were doing then.
Probably
So,
on benzos and all kinds of stuff.
antipsychotics. Yeah. Benzos, antipsychotics, Ambien, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Which was great because I was washing those down with Long Island's.
That doesn't work so well.
No, it doesn't. No,
Or
it
it
doesn't.
does.
Yeah, no, it doesn't,
Yeah.
right?
No.
And I mean, listen, they helped for a little bit until they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, then impulsivity and suicidal ideation went through the roof. I came out here and I went cold turkey off of opioids. I knew they could kill me, right?
Yeah.
I knew they could kill me. But really considering I'm addicted,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm addicted. And it took me several years to regulate, for my brain to like start regulating, right? Disassociation was through the roof. Emotional irregularity was through the roof.
Now, were you, to go back to the opioids a little bit, were those prescribed to you?
Yeah, the VA mailed them to me.
I'm assuming you have chronic pain then.
Absolutely. So I was blown up in country. So I have a brain injury and severe compression from all the weight I carried.
Saturday was fine. And then Sunday, he started getting really paranoid. And then throughout the night on Sunday, overnight on Sunday, like he had made multiple 911 calls to the sheriff's office saying that someone was trying to break in. Somebody was looking in his daughter's windows. Someone was trying to break into the house. There was somebody out there to the point that he had like taken his guns outside. He was shooting off rounds in the yard.
I enlisted because I wanted to show them that I could do it myself.
Okay. So you joined for some of the college benefits then. What did you study?
I actually didn't end up studying.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still got time?
I do. I still have my GI Bill and everything.
Yeah.
But a big reason why I didn't study was because after all of my training with BMT and tech school, at my first duty station, my sponsor ended up raping me.
Oh my gosh.
So 6 months in, I was sexually assaulted. And instead of doing what I wanted to do, I became a workaholic to avoid all of my feelings. Eventually, it got too much and had a mental breakdown and decided to call mental health to start counseling. And I did that for about a year before I got out.
Okay.
On top of being law enforcement at a military installation, on top of the military sexual trauma was suicide, responding to those calls, being on the phone with friends that have committed death by suicide.
I see such a high percentage of your population in reservations as veterans. Why do you think that is?
Oh, well, it's like a rite of passage. I mean, I'll talk about our men, first of all, because they've been enlisted longer than women have. Well, our men, it's, I don't know of any of our veterans here who have been drafted. They enlist. And it's a rite of passage. Now the ladies have started joining the service, and we must have 20 women veterans in our tribal membership.
In Warm Springs, do you have problems with post-traumatic stress disorder or veterans getting out of the service and trying to transition back into their lives and having difficulty?
There was drug abuse, anger, anger fits, abuse, physical abuse.
So in all of your experience in the military and then as a police officer, have you been affected by veteran suicide?
Yes. Yeah, a couple of friends took their own lives, and it absolutely crushed me.
And then, more outpatient, and eventually realized that I was going to continue the cycle if I didn't really immerse, right? And dig into all the stuff that I'd been burying, whatever that was. One of the things that I realized that I struggled with quite a bit post-Marine Corps was that nothing really gave me that sense of satisfaction, the sense of fulfillment and purpose like I had in the Marine Corps, right? I really believed in what I was doing, and then that was stripped away along with that community, right? So I believe that initially PTSD presents itself as, or at least for me, right, as an absence of purpose and the absence of the community that we had.
For some folks, it's cultural and religious reasons, and we're not here to lay any judgment on that. And then there's, we don't always know if a death was a suicide. Do we know if a single person car accident had any intent around it? Do we know if somebody that dies due to a drug overdose had any intent around it? Often we do not know. And then there's a whole batch of deaths that are kind of really tricky to figure out. Sometimes, people will go visit their primary care provider and they'll be told that if you continue to drink alcohol at the rate that you're drinking, you're going to be dead in like 6 to 12 months. And that person has that knowledge and continues to drink, maybe even more. They don't want it to be listed as a suicide, but they know that if they continue to consume that alcohol, that it will end their life. Same with people with medical conditions. Some people choose to not take the medication that they've been provided, knowing that it will hasten their death.
It was impulsive chaos. It was chaos through suicidal ideation and passive suicide, right?
Passive suicide. I want to explore that. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of veterans do that. They just haven't really called it a term before. That's where I was.
Yeah.
If I could drink this entire year, maybe my body will just give out and I won't have to deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah, or maybe I do something really stupid and I just end up dead, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't commit suicide, right?
Yeah.
I didn't commit suicide. My kids don't have to look and say, wow, my pops committed suicide, right? 3 years in March will be my 3rd anniversary of my active attempt to commit suicide on my truck through fast driving and hoping that my truck would go off the road. And then one day it did.
Yeah.
One day it did. And you know, by the grace of God, when it did go off the truck, I had that epiphany, right, that others describe, like, what am I doing here? What's happening, right? What's happening?
The first time, I was sitting with a rifle across my lap, and my extremely gun-shy dog ran out of the back room and placed her head right on my knee and looking up into my eyes, and just that one moment of connection, even though it was just with a dog, saved my life.
I think when it really changed is the day he called me and he said, I don't know what's going to happen. They're taking away my phone and I'm going into a 30-day inpatient program because I tried to kill myself.
I isolated so much, and I was so ashamed of all the things that have happened, and then along with all the deaths that I saw that I wasn't able to process, I started having nightmares. I started to isolate, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. I was unable to regulate anymore with exercise and staying distracted with work and family life, and it was scary. I got really scared, and I went to my VA. I called my VA counselor up, and she saw me, and she's like, we need to get you more help, because I thought I was just gonna take my life. I was so tired. I was so tired of the cycle of depression and sadness and feeling like I wasn't worth anything.
Because we've heard from a few people that there's no indication day of or around that time. Did you see anything?
No.
Yeah.
No. It just, boom.
And we're hearing that a lot.
Yeah. No sign at all. Happy-go-lucky, you know, 2 kids, loving wife, beautiful loving wife, absolutely crushed me. It didn't help with the PTSD, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As you both
But yeah, the days leading up, like everything was normal, and then it wasn't. Like, if you know, it doesn't matter. I'd rather have him hate me and never talk to me again.
But be alive.
So all of that just kind of got buried in me because I didn't want to think about it. I wanted to avoid. That was my main problem, is I avoided so much that it broke me mentally and physically.
From basic training, boot camp, could you have gotten through that alone?
No, I mean, that's the whole point of boot camp.
Yeah.
Right.
They train you to have your battle buddy at all times.
Have your battle buddy at all times.
Yes.
And that's what we need in communities.
Right.
We need our veterans, we need all humans to have a battle buddy of some capacity.
Oh,
There's,
your mind.
There you go.
In this community, they do buddy checks. You know, they make phone calls, do a buddy check on Facebook.
So in the years that I have been married and the years that I've been working with veterans and coming from peer services myself, that veterans helping veterans is the key. Veterans helping veterans support through their mental health, veterans helping each other in the community, veterans putting their mind on a mission and completing it because they have the support of their other veterans who understand them.
So can you guys, we'll just start with, like, what do you do here?
So Virtue Recovery Center outpatient sprung up out of a necessity for continuing care for veterans who complete residential treatment for substance use disorders or mental health conditions. Most of our clientele who's here are veterans. They arrive here on community care consults through the VA.
You guys were both in the same unit in the military, right? So what year was that when you guys came in? Army National Guard.
Yeah, I came in March 7th, 1997.
That was April 15th, 99.
And then, so you guys went on a deployment together to, is it Kuwait?
Kuwait and Iraq, yeah. Yeah, I did Saudi Arabia first in 99. And then we had some,
That's what I was trying to think of.
yeah, I was Saudi Arabia for Operation Southern Watch in 99. And then, there was a kind of a lull there. And then, of course, 9/11 happened. And then 2003 for the initial invasion, it was when Al and I deployed.
In the workspace that we're in now, and us having the opportunity of working together and kind of being at the top of this thing and influencing the culture, that we're able to create an environment where that type of mindedness is not only successful, but it thrives.
Right.
And I am so fortunate, and I wish for every veteran to be able to get a job like this.
We should say, because we're recording this, that you are the chairman for the Senate Committee for Veterans, Emergency Preparedness, and World Affairs. Is that correct? That's a long.
Yeah. Veterans, Emergency Preparedness, Federal, and World Affairs. I can do a lot. Sean, if you and Brad, we have legislative days coming up, and I do informational meetings. If you would like to come to my committee and do a informational presentation about the work that you're doing, what you have seen, I will make sure you have a spot on my agenda.
That's awesome.
Thank you. We'll be there. You just tell us.
Thank you, Senator.
Place, and we're there.
Welcome to the Senate Interim Committee on Veterans, Emergency Management, Federal and World Affairs. Mr. Brennan, can you give us a background on what we're getting ready to go into?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. We have a couple of folks here from Together with Veterans Northwest who are going to come give a video presentation, a slide presentation that includes a short video on a statewide tour of the state and planning.
Thank you, Senators, for this opportunity to speak in front of you this Memorial Day week. Sean and I would like to take a couple of minutes to introduce ourselves and our work to benefit rural Oregonian veterans and veterans at large. We have several projects in the works, but are here to speak mostly about a documentary we have been filming across the state.
We want to help you. We want to help you, and we want to help the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs use us, because we're not here because we're part of an organization or a couple of vets that are doing stuff. We're here because this is what's helped us out. And if we didn't have this, we would have been part of those statistics that we showed you. And that's really all we have to say. So thank you guys so much for your time.
I have to say, Central Oregon, from all the places that I've been, Central Oregon, even though, yes, we still have soldiers who are isolated, or veterans that are isolating, I do feel like we are being very proactive. People are getting peer specialist certified, assist certified, which is a QPR training, and the state is being so supportive in all of that, where they're paying veterans to be part of these programs so we can identify more like suicidal traits.
That's so much pressure on you.
It's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and I lost a lot of folks, but I also saved a lot of folks. So I have a little bit of experience in how to deal with, veteran suicide. I know how to talk to them and what to ask, the questions to ask.
Well, that's what we've been learning. It takes, you can save a life with a couple of minutes conversation.
Sure. One of my guys in the PTSD group lives over in nearby. He got into bad ways because he was reliving stuff from Vietnam. And his wife called me and said, please get over here and help. Spent 2.5 hours with my arm around this guy walking around his gigantic backyard. And we just talked, and I just looked him in the eye and I said, tell me where you're at. Tell me, how deep is your pain right now?
I became the post commander of an American Legion in Portland, in Northeast Portland. And we did clothing drives, we did food pantries, we gave food to people who needed it, we helped pay rent for people who couldn't pay rent, we found people jobs, we did a lot of good stuff. And then one winter, people were freezing on our streets, so we decided to turn our American Legion post into a homeless shelter. None of us knew what the hell we were doing, and I was so naive, but I wanted to help out. So I just thought if we had a coffee pot and a crock pot going, I can just keep place open and people would crash in the corners and whatnot. What I learned in this amazing experience that I had was we have veterans in our community who were just like me, without purpose or identity. And when you give them purpose, they meet the challenge. They're just, it was amazing. These guys, the week before they're playing video games on the couch and drinking beer, but all of a sudden now they're pulling 18-hour shifts helping homeless people that they had, didn't know or anything. And we did so much good.
Eventually, we landed on Astoria, Oregon, and I committed that this would be where I would look for the most healing that I could. And things have gone pretty well for me, but I've spent a lot of time with VA doctors, be that psychiatrists, therapists, and in fact, it was at the urging of a VA therapist that I went to a veterans breakfast where I met a lot of other veterans, including Sean, and we started talking about what does healing look like. And I discovered a common answer a lot of people had was volunteering and becoming involved with their community. In the Pacific Northwest, I could engage with my hobbies of getting out into the woods and into nature as much as I can. I get out, do a lot of photography, and feel a lot of enjoyment and a renewal as I get out and do these things. And it becomes a place of healing for me, a place where I can find a little bit of serenity and realizing that life doesn't have to be so heavy sometimes.
And finished my bachelor's and then went on to do my
what's your bachelor's at?
So my bachelor's is in social sciences. So I knew I wanted to help people, not in a clinical way. And I didn't, looking back, I didn't know what it would turn into, what it is now. But I knew I wanted to focus on advocacy and just helping people find whatever they need. And I didn't know at the time what that looked like. So,
well, what's your master's in?
So my master's is in human studies and human behavior.
Right, and so now you're a professional mental health advocate / street fighter.
Yes, a mental health street fighter.
What does that do? What does it do?
Because I fight for people's mental health access.
That we need peers, we need mentors, and we need mentees.
Yeah.
Because we all have something to teach and to give. And we even, like there's all different levels of care in this network, because when we're talking about something like the ranch, we're talking community engagement, we're talking social determinants of health, but we also have to have a trauma-informed lens to know when someone needs more support than what we can provide, and we know what that level is, or we need to say, like you need to talk to someone at the vet center.
Are you Johnny?
Johnny.
Brad Peitzig.
Brad, how you doing?
And this is Sean Davis.
How you doing?
So we're here in Pendleton, Oregon, and we're here with Johnny Blagg, right?
Johnny Blagg, yep.
Air Force veteran.
In my mind, it was a monument to honor the services, past, present, future, the civilian, because there's a huge civilian contingent is just as important to the military as the military members, and we couldn't work without them. So, to honor the men and women civilians of the Air Force, the Army, Navy, Marines, all of them.
We're standing on your idea right now.
We're
and
standing
this
in the middle of
is
my
what you
idea.
said. This is a monument to the armed forces.
It's an armed forces monument.
This is kind of our thesis for our documentary.
Community
on the
service.
site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really neat.
Showing other veterans who might be isolating or on the fence or struggling with their issues that you don't have to. You can
get involved.
That period sucks. It really does. But you can find a way to get involved and do something great.
And I think that's the key. I think is getting involved.
We're here in Grant County, and we're here. Well, you're from Boise. This is Dan
Boise.
Ashley, and from the Vet Center.
Yes.
But you're not like a VSO. What is your role?
So the Veterans Center, or Vet Center, I should say, is a part of the VA, but we are a standalone agency where the services that we provide are to our active duty and veterans both. So we're the only part of the VA that can meet with active duty veteran or service members and veterans. But we extend that to families as well. And a lot of what we provide are resource development, understanding their benefits and services, and counseling. One of the primary things that we're proud of is we go into the rural community, shake the trees, encourage the veterans to come out, even in their community, and meet with us and talk.
We stay pretty active, and we try to invite everybody to Veteran Coffee Time. We host, like, every now and then I do the Taco Friday at the taco truck. And during the summer I use Chuck Wagon and Long Creek. But we try to network so that veterans know where the free meals are that I'm providing. And we try to include people. We have a page as well, Grant County Veteran, Grant County, Oregon, because if you go Grant County, you can end up in Kentucky. We just try to make everything homey and let people know we care. We have a lot of outreach. The Elks Lodge is a big place, and the Elks Lodge also has...
That's where we are right now.
Right, and the Elks Lodge also has a veteran grant, just like American Legion has a veteran grant. So we also try to find out where money is, like if somebody needs an electric bill or a water bill paid for. We just try to include everybody.
A lot of what helped me is being around people that have experienced the same things and watching them go through their struggles. And I'm the kind of person that just wants the best for everyone. I want everyone to speak their truth. I want everyone to be able to live their unapologetic self. And to help them, I realized that I have to help myself, because they need to see that someone can get through it too. So part of my healing journey was, going to mental health, going to the vet center, going to retreats for my PTSD, for my anxiety, and seeing my perspective change from feeling so discarded, feeling like I'm literally coming out of the dumpster, to being able to feel anything and everything again, and just being able to be appreciative of my feelings. I'm not avoiding them anymore. I feel my feelings on the surface of my skin, which is great because I'm not avoiding anymore.
And I do think that when people are finding opportunities to get involved with their communities, and when I say, that can be a global community, I don't mean just the town you live in, but I do mean the town that you live in. And it's, anytime you have the ability to make life a little bit better for the person to your left or your right, you're by default going to be making life a little better for yourself, and certainly living a fulfilled life.
Anyway, I went to the vet center, and that helped me out, but I almost didn't make it through. And it was really what I found that helped me was helping other people. And that's another thing that we were talking about that comes up in a lot of our conversations, is that if you want to help a veteran out, don't come to him or her and say, hey, I want to give you this help. Ask them to do something for you.
Give them that purpose and direction. I feel great just being out here and looking at these cliffs, and even though we're talking about the past a lot, this kind of makes me look forward to what's next. I mean, I keep thinking, I need my kids to see this. I need my wife to see this.
Well, you know there's a veteran suicide hotline, right?
Right.
Well, my friend who was experiencing these feelings, he did call that suicide hotline. They chatted with him, asked him if he is feeling suicidal. He said, well, yeah, it's crossed my mind today. And so what happened with, from that conversation, they connected him with the counseling program through the Central Oregon Veterans Organization, the Vet Center. The VA gave him a tablet to do his appointments since we're so remote, right?
Please tell me where you're at. Please tell me how deep your pain is. Please, I am here for you, and I'm not leaving until we get some progress on where you're at right now. I need you to talk to me. I need you to talk to me. I'm pleading with you to talk to me. That's what I would open my statement with.
How many times have you done that?
Actually, 6. I've done it 6 times now. And those folks are still alive.
Thanks. See, once a corpsman, always a corpsman.
Yeah.
Always still saving lives.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
If you had the ability to speak to a veteran who might be feeling suicidal, what would you tell them?
Tell them that I'm here for them 24/7. I'm here to listen to whatever, to sit by them, to comfort them, anything that they need. I would be there.
We've shared stories from veterans across every terrain because there are many paths to the same place. A place where community, purpose, and identity aren't just words, they're lifelines. Where camaraderie becomes connection and connection becomes healing. You don't have to be a vet to walk beside us, you just have to show up.
In one moment you can have it all, then in the next you might trip and fall. That's what happened to me. I thought that I won and I had it made. In the front of my mind this was the right way, but I was lost as I could be. I was trying to fight and win back my soul. When I looked at my heart, all I saw was a hole. It was lonely, it was hard, and it was dark as it could be. Oh, but it was turning pain into purpose for me. I said it was turning pain into purpose for me. Ones of my past had me turned around, buried in shame and guilt had me bound. But it was time to get off my knees. So I had to learn that I was worthy, and that was hard to hear while I was hurting. But I refused to go down 6 feet. I was trying to fight and win back my soul. When I looked at my heart, all I saw was a hole. It was lonely, it was hard, and it was dark as it could be. Oh, but it was turning pain into purpose for me. I said it was turning pain into purpose for me. God rescued me through all the people I love. I was trying to fight and win back my soul. When I looked at my heart, all I saw was a hole. It was lonely, it was hard, and it was dark as it could be. Oh, but it was turning pain into purpose for me. I said it was turning pain into purpose for me. You know it was turning pain into purpose for me.